Hey guys, what is going on? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. In today's video, gotta bring you guys some more Detroit Pistons trade rumors. Like I said, it's going to be heating up for over the next, month, 2 months with these trade rumors. Now, this does involve a Detroit Piston on the current roster that is not getting any playing time, and that is Nerlens Noel. We do have a Bleacher Report article we're going to go read and react to at the end of this video. So let's get into it. Here's the article from Bleacher Report. It says NBA trade rumors. Pistons Nerlens Noel eyed by the Blazers, the Kings, Heat, and the Mavs. Now, if you guys do remember, I want to say a week ago, I did make a video about Nerlens Noel, and there was a reporting that the Mavericks were a team that were calling the Pistons about trying to trade for Nerlens Noel. Now we have the Blazers, Kings, and Heat added to the mix. So we're going to go read to see what Bleacher Report had to say about these teams being linked to him. The Portland Trail Blazers, Sacramento Kings, Miami Heat, and Dallas Mavericks are reportedly among the teams pursuing a trade for Nerlens Noel. James Edwards III of The Athletic reported Noel and the Detroit Pistons have agreed a separation is best for both parties. Noel has spent most of his 2022-2023 season out of Coach Dwayne Casey's rotation, playing only 6 games. He's averaging 1.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, while shooting a career worst 30.8% from the floor. The Pistons acquired Noel from New York in July as part of a salary dump. Noel is making $9.2 million this season and has a club option for $9.7 million in 2023-2024. It seems unlikely that any team that trades for Noel would pick up that option, bearing a reemergence of him as a defensive force in the middle. The Blazers, Kings, Heat, and Mavericks all have a need for help in their defensive middle. The biggest issue may be finding a matching contract that works for both parties. It's unlikely Detroit will want to take on a future salary beyond this season. In any trade given, Noel can come off the books next summer. Dallas has the potential for a one-for-one trade that makes some level of sense. A Noel for Dwight Powell trade works under the salary cap. That said, Powell has started 20 games this season, is a solid rim runner who fits the Mavericks rotation. All right, after reading that article, here are my final thoughts on Nerlens Noel and the Detroit Pistons getting interest from playoff teams. I think it makes sense for both parties to move on. Like the article did mention, Noel's played in 6 games. And in those 6 games, it has been in an emergency situation. It's been when Isaiah Stewart was out. It's been when Jalen Duren has been in foul trouble. And there's just no room in Casey's rotation right now for Nerlens Noel. And that is because Dwayne Casey and the Detroit Pistons are trying to develop talent. They're not really trying to play a guy that is more of a veteran and has a defensive presence. They're just trying to develop talent right now. And I think it's a good decision for both parties. Like James Edwards III did report that they're both looking to move on. And I think it's the right decision. Now, with the teams that are mentioned, the new teams, like the Heat, the Blazers, the Kings, I think all of them have players that are interesting, but here's the problem. I don't know if these teams are willing to take on his contract. Now, I know he does have a club option, which is pretty attractive if you're a team just looking for short-term help for this season, because you can just trade for him and trade for his $9 million this year, and if you don't like what you see, you can let him go because he has a club option next year. I think that is definitely a plus if you're Detroit, because you could say, hey, here's a club option. If you don't like him, you can just, get rid of him. So I just don't know what kind of a trade package Nerlens Noel could gain you if you're the Detroit. I think there's definitely value for him if you're looking for a guy that can protect the rim and grab you some rebounds off the bench. I think he definitely adds value. But to Bleacher Report's point, the Pistons don't really want to add long-term salary to their books. They're looking for, short-term salary. They don't want to be tied up on a, 4 or 5 year contract for a player. Now, they did mention Dwight Powell for a Nerlens Noel swap straight up. I just kind of find that hard to believe if I'm the Mavericks, just because Dwight Powell is actually a rotational piece that does play every game. And Noel hasn't really played a whole lot in Detroit. Now, I understand, like, situations are different. Like, a situation in Detroit would be much different in Dallas. I'm sure Jason Kidd would find playing minutes for him, because Dallas's biggest problem is they don't really have I don't want to say they don't have a consistent center, because they do have McGee and they do have Christian Wood, but I think Noel would add kind of a different element to their team if they wanted to go down that route. But I just don't think Powell for Noel trade is realistic. I think if I were to guess what his value could be for the Detroit Pistons, I think you're looking at maybe you can get a second round pick, and maybe you can try to package him with another player on the roster to try to get you. Maybe you need more wing help. Maybe you think the Pistons should look for a shooting guard. Maybe you think the Pistons need more size in the middle, but a player that's a little bit younger and doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, maybe. I think that those are options that the Pistons can look at and explore, and I do expect him to be moved by the February trade deadline. But I did want to update you guys on this recent reporting from James Edwards III and Bleacher Report. But let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of the Detroit Pistons deciding to move on from Nerlens Noel. I'll talk to you guys down below in the comment section. Like always, hope you guys are staying safe. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.